So how long's Rachel Reeves worked for Auto Trader? This is like in real.
You normally only see from here upwards, don't you?
Yeah, I've got legs and everything.
Easy now.
Easy now.
Easing out.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Drive Talk podcast. Now, if you listen to this on any of the audio podcast platforms, make sure you follow us, by the way, you might not realise that it's a bit different and a bit special. But if you're watching it on YouTube, you'll have spotted that we're actually together for the first time in ages. We're not recording it online.
We are, and it feels really... I've been like a kid in the sweet shop. We've been here about an hour and a half just discussing things with Michelin and James and just catching up. But I feel really excited to be around you guys. It's quite nice.
It's nice, yeah. I love the backdrop we've got as well. It's a
I
pretty
was
cool
going to
place.
say, where are we?
Escapade.
Yeah. Behind the camera that way, it's dark now, but literally maggots and Beckett's.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
It's unbelievable. These are houses that you can basically rent out and come and stay just like a hotel. So we needed somewhere to host a couple of podcasts and get together at the end of the year. And we've come here and it's great.
We have. Could we swap cushions actually? Because your laptop's covering that one. We need to get our product placement.
God forbid,
There we go.
why would we talk about Michelin, Joe?
Well, they are our headline sponsor, and we're very grateful to have them. So that's why I want this.
I've got some branding on my laptop.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
you
good of
have.
you. Oh, that's very good, yeah. There's a weird...
That came off one of the cars earlier on as it was going through maggots. Yeah,
bounced
literally.
off and up onto the balcony.
I caught it with one hand, put it up there. Big in the game.
Now we've got loads and loads of things to talk about. But the thing I'm looking forward to most, and we're meant to do it in the last podcast, but we ran out of time, is we've called it Crap Cars We Want to Own.
Yeah. Well, this was my idea, and I thought there's
That means
always...
that Joe and I are going to get it really badly wrong.
Well, I don't know. I think Joe normally just likes good cars, or at least he thinks he does anyway. But there's a lot of quirky stuff. There's a lot of interesting stuff that I like. Oh, I quite like that. But they're actually objectively or reviewed by journalists, people of stature, terrible cars. So, yeah, I think we've got a few each, and I'd be intrigued to hear what you guys have got. Because I think there will be some controversial ones.
I quite like mine because I've found three, and it's when you go onto Auto Trader and you select. I've selected like pretty much the most expensive of these ones on Auto Trader, and they're still each one's under 15 grand. It's great.
Wait, did you just say Auto Trader? You mean you could just reserve one for £99? Oh no, we'll get onto that in a second. Yeah.
Easy now. Now we've got quite a bit of. I think we've got some steam to let off our chests because actually today, as of filming, has been budget day.
Yes, Rachel Reeves has come through and...
oh, what a superstar. I mean, we're a very apolitical podcast, but yeah.
Well, me and Joe are. I'm not sure about you, but...
Well, yeah, okay. All right. So we're going to try and do this in the most apolitical way. What the hell was she thinking?
Well, I think, firstly, Pete, you need to run through for us what she said related to cars. Well, don't go through the whole budget because we don't have time for that. But
really, the main one I want to talk about, and I actually talked about this a little bit on my channel because there were rumours that it was going to happen, and she's gone one step beyond what the rumours were. So the first thing is she's introducing pence per mile charging for EVs.
Yep.
And that's going to be 3 pence per mile. But the kind of will she, won't she chat was whether she would do it to hybrids. And she's brought in a 1.5 pence per mile charge for plug-in hybrids.
And now, question for you as the person that has researched this. Is that in addition to road tax, or what you would always correct me and say is vehicle exercise duty? Or is
exercise duty.
Exercise.
Is it not? Wait, what is
excise.
it? Oh, excise. Yeah. You can tell I don't pay attention.
Oh, it's good.
So the justification behind it is that at the moment, the government make a lot of money from fuel duty, whether that's petrol or diesel. And as petrol and diesel car usage drops off, the amount of petrol and diesel we buy will reduce, and therefore the amount of tax revenue the government make will reduce. So they're trying to kind of plug the gap with plug-in hybrids, excuse the pun, but to try and make some revenue from EVs. I believe, and I need to check the details, that will also mean that EVs are going to have vehicle excise duty, but at the basic rate of £190 or £195 a year.
Okay, so this will be an addition.
Which is what the maximum tax rate was not so many years ago.
Yeah,
it was about 250 quid.
Yeah,
so
so the bit that frustrates me. Well, actually, there's lots of things that frustrate me, but how they're going to implement it, I have absolutely no idea. because I guess the only equivalent I can think of at the moment is if you're claiming mileage. Let's say you're doing business miles, and you claim mileage, and you're claiming that back off the inland revenue. You can claim 45 pence a mile for the first 10,000 miles, and then after that it drops down to 25 pence a mile. But it's kind of up to you to police that, and when you get to 10,000 miles, drop your rate down to 25 pence a mile. And I know you can get it checked in your kind of, your tax return and all that kind of stuff. How they're going to do this whole pence per mile thing, I hear it's something that's going to be as simple as just basically you put in what your annual mileage is and that's what you pay, because it can't be done on a telemetry thing or a little black box thing. Well, I always thought with pence per mile, I mean, ultimately that would be the ultimate way of doing it, is you put a little black box in everybody's car, and that's where you get. And can I see a point in the distance, the maybe not too far future, where all road taxing is done on a usage basis?
Well, I think that's what this is introducing, because the other thing that we've just introduced in the country is the fact that by 2030, all cars sold will have to be electric or hybrid.
Yeah. Right.
And that's been brought forward 5 years. So,
and do you know why they've said they've done that? To make it clearer for manufacturers to understand what the future...
Have the government got no idea what's
They
going
clearly
on
never spoke
in
to a
the
manufacturer
car
in their
industry
life.
at the moment? And, I know we've said this a few times, but it's not often you have sympathy for manufacturers, but it's really tough selling cars at the moment.
Yeah. It is.
And it's really tough selling electric cars. And I don't care what people say, they're doing really, really well on sales and electric. If you look at the targets they've got, the ZEV mandate target this year is 28%. The last time I checked, which was a couple of months ago, admittedly, they weren't even at 21%. They're never going to hit 28%. And that's without people going, oh, hold on a minute. You mean I'm going to have to pay 3 pence a mile?
Yeah.
And even if at 10,000 miles a year, that's only £300, which is maybe the same as a vehicle exercise.
But it's still, it's just another,
it's another
barrier,
it's
another
disincentivizing
thing.
electric car ownership, which is, if they want to bring it forward by 5 years and they want everybody to be in them theoretically by 2030 or beyond, they're making it worse.
Honestly,
everything contradicts everything. I mean, that's politics in a nutshell, really. But I think, without going on about it for too long, I think it's making it more confusing, more difficult for everyone, the manufacturer, the end user, more expensive for everyone. We're getting nowhere. We're not saving the planet by doing any of this. The whole thing is a mess. It's a joke. And it all stems from a bunch of politicians that don't know how to wipe their arse, let alone talk about, this particular subject. They don't know anything about it. And I think, like you mentioned earlier on the black box thing, I think that's exactly what's going to happen. The thing is, all these electric cars, unfortunately, most of them have got the infrastructure to tell Big Brother how far you've been, how far you haven't been, what you've been doing. And that's the scary thing about electric cars. And a lot of people, whether, the people that have been accused of wearing tinfoil hats from day one, a lot of these people have said, you watch in 10 years' time, we're all going to be controlled as to what we can do with our car, and actually looking at it, it's all slowly coming together, and the control is there, and it's scary. But
there is one way in which mileage is currently clocked every year. MOT, but happens only after the third year. So brand new vehicles onto the market. Now you could change that, and you could make that from year one. You have to get an MOT. But as we're seeing with electric cars, and to sing their praises partially, they have less moving parts, and MOT on an electric car for the first 3 years is likely to show up less issues. Like, you're building more cost to consumers again. You're building more work for garages, which maybe boosts the economy slightly. But electric cars are, or I wouldn't say less likely, that's the wrong terminology, but there is no incentive for anybody to have their car MOT'd in those first 3 years. But maybe it's, again, something that's forced on. And
But also, talking about electric cars, just quickly going off a tiny tangent, and I know I shouldn't be, but we were down at Elite Garages in Dorchester about a month ago, or a few weeks ago, and talking to the MOT guys down there about MOTing electric cars. And there's so little that they're allowed to touch with electric cars that actually, like suspension, I was like, what are you seeing more wear and brakes and suspension components, ball joints, that sort of thing, because they're heavier. They're not allowed to take any of the stuff. They're not allowed to actually inspect anything on an electric car because they're covered up with under trays like normal cars are. But in a normal car, you can have a look around, wheel arch, suspension components a bit, make sure it's all solid. But in electric cars, you're not allowed to touch any of that because of the electrification. None of that's been changed. So
I'm going to push back on that.
Yes.
It depends on your level of, if you're level 3
Yeah.
or level 4, you can. It's just a case of whether you've got the people in the garage that...
No, but an MOT. No, I'm talking about the car.
An MOT test station.
Yeah,
working
to
on it.
pass
But
MOT.
that's across any vehicle. The MOTs, the way, because my brother was a mechanic and did MOTs. And so as simple as if you had rust on a car, but you cover it with duct tape or something, they can't then validate that there's rust there because there's tape over it. They can't remove the
That'd be
tape.
good for my Mini.
They can't remove the tape
No,
to
they
reveal
can't
the rust.
touch anything.
And so an electric
How about
car...
a cornflake box covering up a hole in the door?
Same thing. Yeah. Almost by design, electric cars are obviously as smooth through the air as possible. Everything is covered. And so you're right, they can't even see the components they would traditionally need to test, and they're not allowed to reveal them.
Yeah, I'm not talking servicing. I'm talking about MOT, to pass an MOT. They can't actually inspect these components, so they just have to put pass, and that's how it is. They said that they haven't updated or changed the MOT process at all in the last 10 years.
I guess the thing, though, I suppose, what's the oldest electric cars on the road? They're going to be like
10 years old.
Yeah.
Tesla Model S.
So they'll have been being MOT for the last 7 years.
Yeah.
Quite a long time, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Right, next subject.
Next subject.
Final thing on the budget.
Oh.
They increased the luxury car threshold in which you pay luxury car tax for brand new electric cars to I think about 50,000.
Okay.
Has that moved?
Yeah, it's just moved.
Oh, now that. Oh, okay. I'll give them
1 point.
1 point for actually understanding a little bit.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot, because if your car tips into that 40k or above, your first 5 years of ownership is really expensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's a positive thing.
I mean, it is. I mean, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one, and actually this is a budget thing as well, is it? Is the Motability scheme?
I'm not sure if that came out in the budget, but
it's just the same day.
Well, the last few days, the government have obviously been making lots of different announcements. There are some Renters Reform Acts and various different things. But part of that is the Motability scheme has seemingly reduced the range of models in which you can get. I don't fully understand it. Maybe you can explain more.
I think I've just seen it as all the premium cars removed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we could get some really upset listeners if we're not careful on this one, couldn't we? If
you could.
No, but see, I guess you've got to look at your budgets and how much money you've got, and if you're getting a free car because your Motability needs, just give them all cheap Chinese electric cars.
Yeah, I think the main thing with the Motability scheme is that all vehicles should suffice for the job that they're needed. So if you're in a wheelchair and you need that kind of access, there should be vehicles, Citroen Berlingos and equivalents.
Yeah.
I think the problem with the premium brands was that potentially people were paying additional of their own money. So they were kind of upgrading their experience. Like when you come to a hotel and they go, would you like to have a suite, sir?
Or you get extra legroom seat on an airplane.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that was the problem, that people on Motability and people that potentially were on other benefits as well were using that additional benefits money to get a more premium model. And to not blag, but to have a vehicle or an experience that
upgrade
isn't just for the Motability needs.
Yeah.
And obviously we would all want people to have a vehicle that suits their Motability needs. They just don't need to have a fancy car.
But
they just have a car
I think we need to
services.
research this more, because it's interesting. I was talking to someone about it yesterday, and apparently the luxury brands, they've already named a few, I think like Audi, BMW.
Yeah.
So once again, it's hard for the Germans, because they sell a lot of their cars over here on that scheme. So once again, the Germans,
Grand Tourer.
Yeah, I think so. The Germans once again are getting the thick end of the stick. And guess what? You just said it jokingly a second ago. Chinese car. Maybe you didn't jokingly.
that was me.
But or you did. But guess what? The Chinese cars are going to benefit again. It's like, wow, this is once again just completely ruining the European car industry. But what's interesting, what this person pointed out, was they've named the German, but they haven't. And it sounds like they're only going to pick specific, not just luxury cars. It's going to be specific cars. So there's no mention of Lexus. And but then to me, Lexus fits in the same category as Audi and Porsche and BMW. And so it just seems like an absolutely brainless move that hasn't been thought out properly.
No, I can't imagine that.
Well, you're right, because you can buy a £50,000 BMW marked car,
Yep.
like a BMW of any kind, description that might suit. But you can also spend £50,000 in various of those other brands
Yep.
that might still be in the scheme. So yeah, I think that should have been more considered.
I'm currently driving a £52,000 Cupra this week.
Jesus, that's crazy. Right, next subject.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in charge of pushing him along.
This is very unusual
Yeah.
for you.
I know.
Joe,
Come on.
maybe
Joe's
the
taking
bar
Unless
Right.
it's a point that I really want to hammer home, then I'm pushing them along.
Well, interestingly, it kind of links a little bit to our challenge later because we're looking at some cars.
Yep.
And the kind of go-to for us on the podcast has always been Auto Trader.
Yes.
It seems that Auto Trader have made a few people quite unhappy.
Yeah, and
in recent
it all
times.
seems like it's come to a head because I think it's been a slow burn up until now. But I know, Joe, you've watched a bunch of videos, so maybe you can educate us more. But
Yeah, well, I think today's world that we live in with podcasts and YouTube channels and stuff, has good sides and good sides and bad sides, but it also gives a lot of people a platform and a voice that wouldn't have otherwise had it in the past, i.e., smaller car dealers and stuff, or even the bigger car dealers. So they've just had to sit back and go, yep, okay, fees have gone up. But anyway, long story short, if you haven't watched or aware of it, I would advise going online and searching Auto Trader on YouTube because there's a lot of recent really interesting YouTube videos about it. But essentially, it sounds like Auto Trader have become more and more greedy and started charging especially dealerships because they pay for packages. So it's not just a case of if we put up a private car, I don't know what it is these days, 100 quid, probably maybe more to advertise your car. But if you're a dealership, they're like 7.5, 10 grand, 20 grand packages.
yeah, and you're paying for an amount of cars.
And all
the support and services that come with that. But those are quite... I think some of the dealerships have said that it's their single largest cost expenditure is Auto Trader.
We're talking 10, 15, 20 grand a month.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
So, but the flip side of that is undoubtedly, every time we talk about cars in this podcast, we go to Auto Trader. It is the Bible, isn't it? It is the biggest platform. It always has been since we were young.
I even had someone, it was a kind of indirect quote here saying that Auto Trader effectively set the used car price really.
Yeah.
It used to be like Black Book and Parkers and all that kind of stuff.
Exchange and Mart.
Yeah. And now it's like, what is the Auto? Oh no, the Auto Trader set the price. We can't knock anything off that.
We all go straight to Auto Trader to look at values. If you're selling a car and stuff, you look at because you get a good idea of it. But basically, they introduced, I think earlier this year, or maybe it's been going for a few years, but they've really started. Now I think you have to use it. A thing called Deal Breaker. And you
Deal builder,
not
not exercise.
Yeah, actually, it doesn't. Sorry, it definitely doesn't break the deal. That's the whole thing. If it broke the deal, it'd be great, but it's not. It builds it, but at that point, it could go any direction, and this is the problem. So essentially, if you're looking at whatever it might be, and it's at a main dealer, you will probably get the option on Auto Trader of reserving that car for £99, which sounds great, and tonight, after we finished the podcast, had a few glasses of wine, any of us could go onto our laptops and go, oh, wow, that looks a bit tempting. I'm going to reserve that for 99 quid. That then, to my understanding, takes that car out of sale. So if it's a small dealership that has 15 cars, you've suddenly removed that car because someone on Auto Trader has paid £99 to reserve it. And Auto Trader have got the rights to that car for 30 days, right? And so and at any time you could just pull out of that, to my understanding. But what makes it even worse is they've also added in, because it's a deal builder, it builds. If you've got a car to trade in, so Patrick's got his Passat to trade in, they'll give you a trade-in cost. But again, looking at some of the examples that these YouTube channels have talked about, you could say you could have smashed the rear end of your car. It's got no rear bumper, no front bumper, all the sides are scratched. It needs a full respray, new bumpers, whatever. But if you put all that down, they will quote that, it's worth £500 less than book value because it's like it's so sort of connected or disconnected to the real world. So not only have you now got this customer that's gone, I think I'm going to have that for 99 quid. They've said they're going to give me 8 grand for my Passat that's basically written off.
And that's the thing to be clear about here. Auto Trader aren't making you an offer for them to buy the car.
No.
Like we buy any car.
They're negotiating it for the dealer. But anyway, I'm not going to go too far into it because I don't fully understand it. But I do sympathise with all of the dealers out there, because I think it's a real case of Auto Trader biting off more than they can chew, and becoming very corporate and very greedy. And they need to be careful, because I think, it's not impossible for other brands to come out there and replicate what they've done so well for so many years. But as we know, companies, can rise and fall very quickly. And I mean, that's...
And I think the best way to summarize this was the one that I watched with the YouTuber. I can't remember his name, but he runs a car garage, and he went on a live stream with Auto Trader employees.
Yep.
And he was asking, and it kind of explains it well simply. It's like, who is Auto Trader's customer? Now, a customer to most businesses is the person that generates them revenue.
Yep.
Auto Trader perceive their customer to be the client buying a car. So you going onto the platform, looking for a car. And so they build a platform that suits the way that you search. And maybe you want to reserve a car so you can go see it in a week's time or something. And so they have that mentality. The reality is their entire revenue is driven by dealers. Because all of the money they make on their platform is because dealers pay these increasing, ever increasing fees through advertising fees and marketing fees. And so actually their customers should be dealers. They should be appeasing and working with dealers, not to rip off customers, but to offer them an experience that benefits their business. Because the only reason you would have Auto Trader should be to benefit your business, to sell more cars, to sell cars at a better price, to sell cars in a market that is super competitive with all these, kind of bigger garages out there, having the independents, having that fair voice across the same platform. But I think, Auto Trader have maybe misunderstood that they think their customer is... and is actually the garage's customer is the consumer.
And then, of course...
Auto Trader is just a search engine, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, going back to that customer who's just bought Pat's Passat, supposedly bought it, but hasn't really.
No, because it's never for sale.
Then, someone walks in off the street, or has also seen it on Auto Trader or on their own website, comes in, who's really actually wanting to buy it. And that was the trade-in, wasn't it? Well, anyway, that car.
Yeah, the car that they
come
want to
in,
buy.
but then that car's there, but they can't have it, and the dealer can't sell it to this person that's in the dealership because it's reserved by someone they don't know anything about.
Yeah, they've not test-driven the car.
They've done no background. They don't know if they've got any money.
Yeah.
If they can pay for it.
So how long's Rachel Reeves worked for Auto Trader?
He brings it back to... I've just found the guy, the Logbook UK... 49,000 subs. I'm sure he had about 30 like 2 weeks ago. But he's done so, like, honestly, his original video has done 452,000 views. It's worth a watch. It's really good. And he will give you a good insight as to what is going on. He's very straight talking. It's great. But there you go. Next subject.
Well, talking of car dealers with problems, now you've got the car dealers working on Auto Trader, but we've also seeing in the industry an issue of SOR cars and dealerships.
Oh, yes. I mean, I guess it all kicked off with GVE, which is a few months ago now.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, definitely a few months.
But
I didn't know this, what you told me.
I didn't know. And so, Sailor Return, right? So I actually did a video on this at the beginning of the year. When I was selling my Boxster, I worked with a small specialist dealer that I know, and they sold my car Sailor Return. And although I'd heard the term, I never really understood what it was and the benefits and so on. So if we look at it, benefit for me selling my car, so the dealer sold my car, but they basically don't pay me for the car. So they can have stock on their forecourt that they haven't had to buy. And especially with someone like GVE, where those cars are probably supercars, they haven't got multi-million-pound inventory. But they'll take the car, they'll prepare it for sale. That normally means a valet and a clean. And then the sale, because they're selling it as a dealer, they can sell it with things like a warranty, full kind of dealer services. And then they charge me to sell the car for me. And
would that be like a fixed fee or like a percentage?
It depends on the dealer, but it's probably anything from, let's say, £3,000 to £5,000, right? Yeah. Which you'd say, well, hold on a minute, that's a shed load of money. I'll just sell it myself on Auto Trader.
Yeah.
The argument would be, if you sold it on Auto Trader as a private seller, you're going to have people rocking up to your house. You've got to deal with test drives and insurance on test drives. If it's an expensive car, you're not going to be able to offer finance, whereas a dealer can offer finance. So it kind of just makes it maybe a little bit more tricky to sell. So when you're selling a more expensive car, sale or return kind of starts to make sense.
Sorry, and £3,000 to £5,000 is at what rough valuation of a vehicle?
So I sold, I mean, as an example, I sold my Boxster for just over £50,000, and it would have been £5,000 to sell the car.
Yeah, and a dealer might take a bit more, like a traditional dealer, if you were to part exit in a traditional sense.
Yeah, I
would maybe take a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the incentive there is that you have this fixed cost that you know is coming out of.
Yeah, or not necessarily. No, but also with a dealer, it's a bit different because if Ped was going straight into a Porsche
another
dealer,
car, yeah,
then you'd get into another car. But with sale and return, you don't necessarily have to be buying anything from him.
Exactly.
It just has to fit their current stock.
If you're selling a car and buying another car straight away, then trading it in, and I've always Partex cars in before. For me, this time round, I wanted to sell the car in advance of me buying the other car. I knew there was
the 911.
The 911 that fucking blew up. Never mind, excuse me. Excuse my French. Twice. So that's sale or return. You think, well, that's cool. So you could set up a dealership and you can get a whole bunch of stock in, sale or return. Now, you're not going to make as much margin as you would do if you had bought the car in for stock and sell it, but you don't have to finance a whole bunch of stock. The challenge comes, and I think this is probably where GVE fell foul, and this is the bit I didn't know until I spoke to a mate of mine who is in this game, is that when you buy a car from a dealer, you get full consumer rights. So you can take the car back up to 90 days, and they have to give you money back.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with that is the owner of the car who you've sold the car for has got their money and walked off, and that's them out the equation now.
So you've walked away.
I've sold my car. Yeah. My dealer sold my car with a warranty.
You're done.
I've got my money. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Wicked.
You've signed the V5 off. Yeah.
Off I go. It's got nothing to do with me anymore.
Yeah.
The dealer who sold the car on sale or return, 30 days later, the guy comes back and says, I'm sorry, I've got to give the car back. And you've got to obviously give you a decent reason to do that. But the dealer's then got to buy the car back. With what? They're going to have to find the money
now
to
they have
buy
to have
the car back.
financing arrangements and
exactly.
like a traditional dealership model rather than.
And they've got to buy it back at full cost.
At the cost
that which they sold
so then that car's now got another owner in it as well.
Yeah, and then they've got to then sell it. Right?
With no margin in that car, in theory.
Exactly. Right.
Sold at market rate.
What, my mate Dan was saying, he said it's great, but every time you sell a car, sale or return, you basically lie awake at night for 3 months.
Yeah.
Hoping the car doesn't come back. And the day that 3 months is gone, you're like, wow. Sell another one.
Yeah.
And I don't know the circumstances around GVE.
I think there was a lot of stuff
going on. There's a lot of other stuff going on. But that's the bit I didn't
understand.
Really
I had no
get.
idea.
And I was like, ooh. And I'm sure there's loads of people watching this going, duh, what do you mean you didn't know?
I didn't have a clue when you told me off camera.
No. But sale or return as a way to sell a car is a good option. The option I really don't understand is the whole WeBuyAnyCar.com thing. Because whenever I've tried to find a valuation of a car on WeBuyAnyCar.com, it's so pitifully rubbish.
Yeah. I mean, they're just looking at auction valuations, I'd assume, right?
Yeah.
And it's I guess the only benefit I would offer to a service like that is like if you want to get rid of your car tomorrow, it's in Asda's car park. You can just drive over there.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same as what are those shops? You still get them in certain parts of London.
Yeah, pawnbrokers.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's like I need to get rid of my car right now.
PAWN, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Like that TV show Pawn Stars.
That's the one. Yeah. So there we go.
Okay,
it's an interesting.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, as a McLaren fan, it pains me to bring this subject up, but
dun.
bearing in,
Max Verstappen. Dun.
So bearing in
Joe's
mind, we've
sitting
got
on.
a Formula One circuit literally through that window. So clearly, we just had Las Vegas Grand Prix as of recording. It was last weekend. And I was telling to the guys, I was watching it because it was I think it was on from
4 a.m.
4 till 6.
4 a.m. was the race
so
time, yeah.
I woke up, I'm sat there in bed having a cup of tea, and I put the race on, and I watched the race, and Tracy sat next to me and stuff. And I get to the end of the race, and obviously, it's a pretty good result for McLaren, and especially for Lando, because he's ahead of Oscar, and this is great. And I went, brilliant. And she went, before you get up, I just checked the news. I went, what do you mean? Because clearly we're like 3 hours ahead of the finish of the race. And I hadn't checked social media because I didn't want to know.
You don't want to ruin the race result, yeah.
And I just opened up the BBC website and just went, sake. Both McLarens disqualified. And I mean, clearly the team messed up in a big way. But the thing I want to talk about is the speed at which some of the memes hit the internet.
Oh my god, it's the best.
Unbelievable.
It's the
I mean,
best,
that's the advantage
F1
of
troll
AI.
is just brilliant.
the F1 world for memes and jokes. like that is,
And
it's
there was one.
unparalleled.
I got one. It looked just like a real McLaren shop.
Yeah.
Right. But it was skid plates signed by.
Oh, so
So it's a McLaren skid plate signed by Max Verstappen in a McLaren.
I
box.
love Max sanding the plank.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But what it does is, oh my god, it throws there's two races and a sprint left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from nowhere, Max has come from nowhere. And
He's
I'm-
24 points behind. He's the same amount of points behind as Piastri, isn't
Piastri,
he?
they're
now?
level.
they're
They're
level.
both the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
the only way Lando can winning is Qatar next, isn't it?
he's got to beat him by 2
Qatar
points.
sprint.
Yeah, he's got to get 2 more points
Yeah.
than those two, and then he's fine. But that is a tall order because Max is doing very well, and he is
Although-
winning races at the moment.
Although their car isn't quite as suited to the last 2 circuits as the McLaren, but it is going to be all up there. The amount of FIA conspiracy theories and stuff going on, it's like, oh, come on, give me a
Michael
break.
Massey doesn't work there anymore, so that's
I
not
know.
a concern.
Yeah,
but it has.
I'm one
I
of
mean,
those.
It has.
As someone who's not
proper
really into
spice.
F1, I just watch it and I'm like, this year, I mean, they really, because the thing is, like MotoGP this year, it was over so quickly because Marc Marquez dominated, and the viewing figures have completely dropped off since Japan or whatever it was when he took the title 3 months ago. And you just look at it and you're like, I know, listen, people can accuse me of whatever, but I am one of those people that just look at F1 and I'm like, there's so much money involved in that sport now. It is just, all it's about is the show.
Yeah.
And if the show was over, then the show's over. So it's like the whole Oscar thing. Like Oscar was just incredible. And he drops off a cliff. You look at Max; he's been so up and down all year, and then suddenly, and it's just, I don't know. I sit there. I'm not saying anything is happening, but if we found out years later that something was happening, like we have done in many things in F1 over the years, I wouldn't be sitting there going, "Oh, well, that's a surprise."
I mean, I watched a high performance podcast with Zach Brown last week, and he was asked about that very thing, and he basically said, you know, there's absolutely no way with all the sponsors that we have as a team that we would not give both our drivers the absolute equal kit and the best chance of winning. There's no way we'd cobble one of our drivers to favour another one. It just wouldn't happen. And I kind of get that. And I don't know, but it has been a kind of... it's just gone nowhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, the end of the season is going to be
be a fun one.
Even I'm going to watch
spicy.
those races.
And then the other bit of news, it's literally just dropped just before we started recording, is Adrian Newey has just been announced as team principal of the Aston Martin Formula One team.
Which is literally
just over there.
Yeah, a few
Drove
hundred
past
meters
it on the
away.
way in. I mean,
We should have gone over there for a live reporting, shouldn't we? Like, here we are, live outside.
I mean,
All right, Adrian.
his first job is to get rid of Stroll Jr.
That was literally
Get
about to be my first
out
joke.
the
Was
door.
like, surely his first job is to get one more competent
Can you see
driver.
that ever happening?
No, I
of
can't.
course
They've just signed him a contract. It's just
Yeah.
a new contract. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
But
that's.
I mean, good on Adrian. I mean, I love it. Adrian
But-
Newey's an absolute legend. So
I think we thought that was initially there was when he obviously left Red Bull. That was the initial like, oh, he's going to Aston, right? Or
Yeah, he was already signed up, but it was what role he was going to take beyond designing the car.
Yeah, but I mean, let's see. I mean, it's great.
had it not been for Hornergate, you'd have put Christian Horner there. But I don't think him and
No.
there's too much.
well,
water under the
Christian.
bridge there.
There's whispers of Christian going to Ferrari, isn't there?
Yeah, it's just what they need.
Well, Ferrari needs something. Don't
I was
they?
gonna
What
say,
a
they'll try anything at
miserable
this point.
team that is. I mean, I've never been the biggest Lewis fan, but I just look at him now and he looks so deflated and just
broken.
he looks so over it. And it's just like, what a nightmare.
When you got the head of Ferrari basically saying the drivers should
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
throwing the drivers under the
shut
bus
up.
is like
yeah.
the worst thing you can do.
Now then,
Right.
Uh-oh.
crap car challenge. Come
Yes. Let's bring
on.
it
Now,
on.
I know I'm going to get this one wrong, but you know.
Well, there is no right and wrong though.
No,
with
I
this.
think part of these challenges and the intrigue for me is always how are you going to get them wrong?
Yeah.
And how are you going to interpret
Yeah.
them?
Yeah, because I mean, most of Ped's cars that he chooses in the good challenges are crap anyway.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but I mean, this is something where we'd love the audience, especially if you're watching it on YouTube,
Yeah.
to get involved with and give us your crap car that you would love to own in the
Yes.
comments below.
And while you're there, make sure you subscribe.
Make sure you subscribe. And obviously, let us know how much you agree with my choices over everyone else's. That would be great.
Well, we've got 3 each, so if everybody wants to rank them.
Yeah.
So who's going first?
Well, Ped, you should go.
You go first, see how well you've understood this.
I have gone for...
You've got to show us pictures of it.
I will. I've got a picture up, don't worry.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have pictures.
I found a really nice one as well.
Okay.
I've gone for a car that I've always liked the looks of, especially the front end. However, and it is a really big however, they are lambasted as being awful to drive.
Okay, that sounds
They
like...
look great.
Have you had one of these on your channel this year?
No, shut up, Patrick.
Is it the Vauxhall Mocha Electric?
Now,
though?
and they do like a coupe version and a spider version.
Okay.
But I've gone for the coupe version.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Go on.
And it is
You can't tease us anymore.
an Alfa Romeo
Oh, I've chose one of them. Oh, no, which one?
Brera.
Oh, no, I'm in the same boat. I
Yes.
think, I'd like to own one of those.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Now this one,
This is hilarious,
right?
yeah.
Alfa Romeo Brera, right? It's
Is it a V6?
3.2 V6.
Yes.
But this is the Pro Drive, like the super fast one that they did.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes. It has 31,500 miles on the clock.
Okay.
Fresh.
Which 2010. It's a manual,
Yep.
right? I wonder if I can get some power. 340 horsepower.
It's quite a lot.
Oh, so that must
pretty
be
punchy.
that must be chipped.
No, that's the Pro Drive one.
Oh, yes. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
no,
Because the
that's
regular 3.2 wasn't that much.
It's got an Auto Delta supercharger.
Wow.
Supercharged
Oh, that's
as
where
well.
the power's come from.
Yeah. Very conditioned, touring grey, and it's £11,000.
Nice.
Wow.
That's very impressive. Now, you have misinterpreted the challenge here because,
Has he?
because on the way up here, I did say get period correct reviews of the cars, not auto
I
trader
couldn't
listings.
find that in the time.
Yeah, no, you said we could
Yeah.
add that to it.
Well,
couldn't find
But
that.
listen,
I don't want the audience to feel like
the
cats
audience
have,
aren't stupid enough to know that
Everybody
Alfa Romeo
knows an
is-
Alfa Romeo
is
Brera
crap.
is absolutely crap.
Yeah.
But look at it. I mean, look at the front of that. And those three lights, because that configuration
cool.
three lights. You got that on the 159.
You've got the
as
three
well.
lights because only one of them works at a time.
They all do the same thing.
You have
It's
the
not
same
your,
kind of
your AMI dashboard.
same kind of front end on the 159, and then the Spider. I think the Spider probably looks even nicer than that. But
Yeah.
I like the back of that.
I think
the back's
think
cool.
that's
That rounded,
cool.
Yeah.
rounded back.
And for 11 grand.
For 11 grand.
I
No,
mean,
that's good value.
it'll
That
never
is good
work.
value.
It'll never be out the garage.
No.
But
No.
so
Very
There's a really,
good.
you can see there's a really big garage behind that photo, which we'll put up for the audience.
yeah, it's
So that's
probably-
where he fixes it.
he's probably got his workshop in there. I mean, it's got teledial wheels and everything on there. That's
Teledial
just-
wheels are cool.
Yeah, that's a proper.
Hang on,
bit
does
of
this mean we've all got an Alfa Romeo?
Well, I think.
kit. Well,
I think it does.
that's given because you said crap cars.
Yeah, that we'd love to own.
Yeah.
So you can't be a
I think
petrol
you're
head without.
an ex Alpha. That's the point. Actually, I've never owned an Alpha. You had one, but nearly killed yourself in it
Yeah, twice.
twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
One of
yeah,
them
yeah.
I owned. One of them,
Yeah.
me and Joe borrowed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, my first car, it's also an Alfa Romeo, and it also has a 3.2 litre V6 in it.
It's probably got the Busso. Is it the Busso engine? Is that what it's called?
Oh, look at that.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
It- 1.4
Oh.
For those of you listening, it's a 147 3.2 GTA, a car that I personally think is better looking than the Brera.
Yeah, I'd probably.
I'd make an argument for that.
Again,
It's a bit easy now, or is that standard?
Well, I think this is a
Easy
very.
now.
This is like that's a pop band colour, isn't it? Picture in the background.
Hang on, has this car won awards? or
Yeah,
is
it's
that
won
the-
awards, so it's a very. It's
This
a
is
How
very
much is it, Joe?
Petrolped.
well. This one's a little bit more expensive. So you can get them. They've got two on
Here we go.
Auto Trader at the moment. Don't like promoting them right now, but there's two. There's one for £8,000, which actually got lower miles, but it's a bit tatty. Or there's this one that is immaculate, but it's on 116,000 miles, and they're asking 20 grand, which I think is a bit punchy.
Just say 35.
Yeah, they've reduced. It was 25 grand in August. It's down to 20. So give it a couple more months, it'll be 5 grand. But it's
That got gold wheels and red.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
cool. It's cool.
Yes.
So again, a car that I think every article, I've never driven one, but every article I've read about it over the years or watched videos, everyone says it's pretty crap, apart from the engine. But I really want it. So, so me and you have both got crap Alphas. Pat, is this gonna be like a royal flush?
I've got an Alfa Romeo as well, of course.
I love how we've all got an Alpha in
Now,
there.
I've had the pleasure of owning the Alfa Romeo I'm about to
Oh,
4C.
yes.
and it's an Alfa Romeo 4C. It is universally panned. Although Chris Harris on the first...
I don't understand why it was panned because I've driven one. And it's like driving a really expensive Lotus Elise.
It's like...
that wants to kill you.
Yeah, it wants to kill you.
Yeah.
Like it, so Chris Harris, when he first drove one on a test track out in Italy, was
I remember
this
that
thing's
video.
amazing. And it was one of the videos that kind of sold me on wanting the car. Then when he took it onto like wet UKB roads, he was like, this thing wants to kill you. And every review, including the Top Gear one that I've got up here that we'll share to the thing, gave it 5 out of 10. Because the basic theory of it, carbon fiber tub,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
right? Carbon fiber monocoque, amazing.
Yeah.
Very light, under 1,000 kilos.
And 50 grand new, wasn't it?
Looks unbelievable,
Yeah, I mean,
must
it's
say. Like,
beautiful.
looks
They
ridiculous.
They launched a concept of that at Goodwood, and it was going to be less than 50 grand.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
going to be like, and I was like, I'm got to have one.
But the problem was the interior was worse quality than a Fiat 500, and I will say that as someone who owned one. It was a terrible interior, plastics. Like looking at the carbon fiber tub was cool,
Yeah.
but the rest of it was terrible. The infotainment was terrible, speakers were terrible, which is a small part
And
of
if
a car
it was
like
raining
this.
and you opened the boot,
No, that would
all
be
the
full of
water went
water.
in.
I had to replace my boot because it got mouldy at one point. That was one of the things I did do with the car in my 18-month ownership. The screen inside of it, like the not the infotainment, but the dashboard was really like subpar. Again, like early Fiat
Subpar.
500 kind of territory. The gearbox didn't really change gear when you used the paddles. It never really...
It thought about it.
Yeah, it was like you'd press the panel and be like one of those kind of vehicles.
I think what sums up that car is Pete from Petrolped Tours when we were in Italy or something.
One of the fuel factory
Which
tours.
is an app because it's Italian. And we parked up and Pete was like, oh, mate, we had a Spider one, right?
Yeah.
He was like, mate, can I just take that out for a quick drive? I think Tim, it was Shmee, it was in charge of it. Tim was like, yeah, take it out for a drive. It was a press car.
Yeah.
And Pete took it out. Pete's a very, very handy driver, especially on the road. Anyway, he came back with a big smile on his face, but he just said, that car just wanted to kill me absolutely everywhere, but not in a good way.
Yeah, very, very unpredictable in the way in which it drove. Very unpredictable.
killed in a good
Well,
way.
you know how some cars, like, they encourage you to drive really fast, and then you're like, well, because they're so capable, so they encourage you to go fast, and at that point, then they could kill you. Whereas that car was just wanting to kill you from the second you pulled out the car park, even at normal speeds.
The steering was the worst. It was, you'd be driving down what looked like a straight, smooth road, and the way the road cambered, the steering would literally dart across.
Because there's no power steering.
And not in a kind of
like a
progressive,
Mini.
like, oh, it's pulling.
Yeah.
Not like you've got an alignment
GP3.
issue where it's like, oh, I'm pulling that
Exactly
weight. It would
like
literally
that.
go like this. Like it would.
It would pull. You
Pull
had to
you
have two.
into-
You could never drive that
You could
car
never drive
one
without
hand
two
on
hands
the wheel.
Because I drove Steph's one on a runway.
Yes.
That was the only time.
Oh,
that'd
okay.
be okay.
Well, on a
Yeah,
dead flat runway on
fine.
perfect tarmac,
Yeah,
then
fine.
yeah. Right, number 2 car bed.
We're staying in Italy.
Oh, Ferrari.
No.
No.
No. Fix it again, Tony.
Sorry.
Fix
Fiat.
it again, Tony. I've never heard that.
No, lots of trouble usually serious.
Yeah.
is
That's
the only one I
Lotus.
know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've gone for a Fiat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Now, there are 2 variants of this, and the one that was panned and was really shit had 16 valves,
This is the 20 valve.
but I've gone for the 20
Oh
valve.
my God, I almost went for that car. No way.
That is a cool
Fiat
thing.
Coupe.
Mate, I almost
I've
honestly went for
always
that car.
liked these things.
And they sound great,
They
the 20
sound
valves,
great
because it's a 5-cylinder.
Yeah, basically. I mean, and this is the 20 valve turbo. It's the limited edition one. 91,000 miles, 99T, manual, and it's 16 grand.
Wow, that's quite punchy.
That's
Well,
big
this is
money.
the
That's
most
big money.
expensive
Okay.
one on sale on this online car
platform.
auction
These are
Google
perfect.
search engine thing.
These are, as far as I'm concerned, the cars we picked so, because if you had that outside, I'd be like, what
That's
have you
cool,
bought
yeah.
that? No, I wouldn't. I'd be
No?
like, why have you bought that pile of shit? Can I have a drive in?
Just how bad is it? Yeah.
No, I've never driven one. I know when they came out. So 99, I was teaching. I worked for Ericsson at the time. At their training centre in Hazelmere.
Oh, yes.
And one of the
Carpet
students that
sales.
came in, he literally just bought a black one, right?
Yep.
And it was a Minter, but it cost, I think it was like 36 grand or something.
wow.
That's a lot.
And by the end of the week-long course, it was worth about 31.
Wow.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, mega things. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's quite an old car now, isn't it? It's like,
I'm surprised it still exists because
27 years
what
old.
other Fiats of that age still exist?
Not many.
Yeah,
I mean,
who
that
knows
one's
in your Puntos and
particularly
stuff?
good
They're all
nick.
rusted out and disappeared.
Yeah,
haven't
God
they?
knows.
Yeah.
I've seen a few on the roads recently as well. So
I don't know whether that. So you know the issue with the whole Fiat rusting, why that came about.
cheap steel from
cheap
Cheap steel
steel.
because to
Yeah.
pay off debts.
Yeah.
The Italian government were basically given a bunch of cheap steel, and they
Yeah.
gave it to fucking Fiat to build cars.
They
with.
probably, or there's probably more to the truth than that as well. There's probably the fact that they didn't put any protection or
And it's not
galvanized.
galvanised. They didn't do any of
They
that,
didn't
no.
do anything.
They barely put paint on it. Let's face
It's
it.
the steel's
Yes, it's
problem.
Every
No.
car was a Friday afternoon car.
Yeah. By the time it got to the end of the production line, it was rusting. But yeah, no, I just think that is a real. It's got red calipers. It's,
I like
and
that.
The 20 valve had thinner spoke wheels
That's
and
right.
just always looked
Oh,
a bit nicer.
Yeah.
The 16 valve had big fat wheels and
Yeah.
was a bit underpowered. I don't know how much power it's got actually. Probably not
What were they? I'm going to guess it's about 220,
Or would it be that much? Yeah.
205 maybe.
very we don't think we've got.
Oh, we haven't got into
we
it.
have a few full specs and features.
Oh, here we go.
Spec performance. 220.
220.
Oh, wow, look at that.
I got it right.
yeah.
And it's a 5-pot as well.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what.
yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Now, Joe, don't tell me you've got another Italian
No,
car,
I
have
haven't.
you?
No. But my second car begins with an A.
An Audi?
Abarth.
Nope.
It wouldn't be an Abarth. They're
Audi.
just
It's
like
actually
that.
one of Ped's favourite brands. I mean, he literally smegs himself over it. Whoops,
What,
can I
Ferrari
say that?
Amalfi?
No.
Oh.
It's an
Astra.
Aston Martin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't tell me you put the same one I've put.
An Aston Martin Vantage.
Which
Now,
one?
Well, hang on, who thinks they're bad?
One second. What? No, but they are a bit crap.
How old? What?
No.
Which
One second.
one?
But they are a bit crap, and I'm going to get attacked in the comments here.
That's one of the most beautiful cars made in the last decade.
Yes,
right?
Also,
but
I thought they
yes.
were always a good sports car, no? If you
It's-
buy a 2015 one or a GTA,
Has it got?
you're
Has
in
it
trouble.
got? Has it got a
If it-
sports shift gearbox? On it?
If it was a good car, they wouldn't be 25 grand used.
Can we have a look, please?
Yeah, so you're going to love the spec on this one as well. Look.
Oh, yeah.
That's beautiful.
No, that
The
is
thing
an
is
ugly
that
one.
The
That is an ugly
interior
one.
is pants.
There-
It's got
there
a
we go.
Volvo sat nav.
Terrible
which is
driving
terrible.
position, very unreliable, not very fast.
Sound
They
good,
are
though.
crap, but they're cool.
And they're beautiful.
And
I
they're
like
beautiful.
those.
Oh, I mean, it's much better looking than the current one that's about £450,000 before you put wheels on it. Sorry, Aston Martin, if you can hear me over there. But no, and I know I'm going to offend a few people that have got one. And don't get me wrong, out of all the cars I've chosen, this is one that I would actually put my own money into. This is 25
It's
grand.
a good value for money, that.
25
How many miles is
grand,
them?
68,000 miles. I mean, it's barely...
It's a V8, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
barely done any miles.
4.3, not 4.7.
The reason it hasn't
though.
done many miles is because it's spent 90... Oh, yeah, it's a 4.3. That's what I'm saying. It's not... Yeah, it's not
it
the
is really shit.
4.7. Yeah, it's not fast, but it still makes a great sound. It's got all these qualities. But
Is
as
it
an
a
overall
manual?
package,
Is it a
it's a
manual or
bit
auto?
crap. Oh,
It
that's
should
a
be
good
a
question.
manual. You don't want a sport.
It's a manual. I think it's a manual.
Oh,
so
yeah, because the Sport Shift, Aston Sport
it's a
Shift.
Sport Shift,
is
yeah.
not-
yeah, I can't load up because I'm not on the internet. But that's, I know it's a controversial one, this one, but it is a bit shit, and I'd love to have one.
Yeah.
So, in my
fair enough.
opinion,
Is it a coupe or a roadster?
it's a coupe. Oh yeah. Oh, actually, I should have gone roadster because that would have been really crap, and you would have loved that.
Oh, mate.
The roadster,
Oh, yeah.
the roadster seating position. I mean, Ped would actually be looking at. Ped would be looking over the windscreen rather than under it.
Just because you're abnormally big.
That's what Lou said.
moving on. Because I got, when you get Facebook memories, I got one. I think it must have been like 8 or 9 years ago. I had a V12 Vantage S Roadster.
Yes.
on
That's
test.
They've
for a
held
weekend.
their money.
Yeah. I mean, that's a
that-
completely different kettle of fish. That is a special car.
Yeah, but I mean, but the interior is terrible.
Yeah.
and because I did think about getting one actually when I bought my Boxster.
I think the problem is you have to buy a 25 grand one because if you buy a 2014, same interior, you might as well buy the cheaper one.
Yeah.
And have the exact same
I
experience.
mean, if you turned up to a pub or even where we are here in that, it'd be classy. Like if that was in a car park, I'd look at it.
Yeah.
They've aged beautifully.
Beautifully.
Yeah, very beautiful.
Beautifully.
I think that's the best looking Aston Martin that's been built.
Yeah,
in a
I would
long
agree.
time.
And even when it was out, but I think it was prettier than the Vanquish and all the other more expensive
Oh,
cars.
and you get your emotion control unit.
Oh, yes.
So, really small side note before we move on to my next one, but the red lights at the back are very important.
Yes.
They did previous or more like the S and stuff had clear lights.
Oh
didn't they?
yeah.
I know people updated the earlier cars to have this, but like, I always thought they looked
I think you could
terrible.
get it as an option like Porsche.
Red lights for me.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Pat.
Right, this will cause a conversation.
Oh no.
So this got an Evo rating of 2. And it was from £55,000, and this article was from 2005. So £55,000 in 2005.
Oof. What does it begin with? What's the manufacturer?
I'll give you the top line.
It's a Mitsubishi FQ400 or something.
It says it's huge. It's got 4-wheel drive, but what's the point?
It's huge. It's got 2005.
Is it a Sanyong Chirando?
No, you're in the right ballpark though.
All right.
type of vehicle. It is a Mercedes R-Class.
What? An R-Class?
An R-Class. So back in the day, Mercedes made an MPV
Yep.
that I saw, and this is the reason I like this so much is because I went to the
gonna say,
Els Corps.
the point
Was it
where
the
you
British
actually
Motor
like
Show
it.
at
Yeah,
Els
yeah,
Corps?
yep.
And I went there with my dad.
That
and
ran
he was
to
in the-
about 2005 or 6.
Yeah,
didn't
and
it?
he was in the motor industry, and so we got tickets and we went. And as a kid at 10 years old, I saw this on the stand, and my dad, we're a family of 4, so my dad got a brochure, and he was never going to buy one, could never afford one, but it was the idea of going on the stand, saw the car, got the brochure, like came home, and back in the day, they didn't scrimp on brochures. It was like a book, it was a hardback book.
Yeah.
And so like, I always had this soft spot for this car, and then they made an R63, and an R500. I'm like, oh, yes. And they do they're 7-seaters, I think, most of them.
They are so ugly. I
And
mean,
I think,
they did
no,
the
hang on. I think they look, I like the way they look.
Is that before they did V-Class, which is, let's face it, just a Transit with some seats in it?
Yeah. So this is, it could equally stand for, it said they had a concept car in 2002, and it was a Grand Sports Tourer. And yeah, it got panned. Everybody said it was terrible. It was super heavy.
Yeah.
I don't really think they sold very many of them. But when I see one now, and when I went to Dubai for work at one point,
Yeah.
I went and saw Rellini, and downstairs in a dealership he works at the time, they had an R63, like a mint
course
one.
they did.
And it was like a dream come true for me to see an R63, because most of them are 350 diesels or 400s or 500s, whatever. But yeah, R-Class Mercedes. I would
didn't
love
even
to.
know they I hate
I would
Mercedes anyway,
love
but-
to own
I
one of
say
those.
it's ugly, but it's not as ugly as anything in their current lineup. But it is horrific.
Yeah.
But I can
What
see
a
the
thing.
appeal there. But it would have to be the AMG model, just because it would make
So
all the
cool.
noise.
I'd love an R-Class.
Oh.
But they were panned. Everybody said they were terrible at the time, and there's no way they're any better now.
Right,
No.
Ped, on to your last one. Sorry, I'm moving us along because we've got to be conscious of time.
Well, my last one, right? It depends on who you are as to whether you think they're shit or not.
Well, you're asking me, Joe.
It's the Evoque convertible. I
No,
know
it's not.
it's something
It's
he's
not
dreamt
an
It's
of.
got a
Evoque
large
convertible.
windshield for all my
yes.
stickers.
Yes.
But this is a massive guilty pleasure of mine.
Oh,
I've
God.
always liked them, and I've always thought one day I'd quite like to have one.
What does it begin with? Give us some clues.
It's got big furry feet, and it lives in the snow.
Big furry feet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Yeti.
It's a Skoda
Oh,
Yeti.
they're cool.
Yeah. hang on. Whoever said they were bad?
Yeah. Who said that
one.
Yeti's bad?
I thought they were always reviewed really well.
Yeah, that's what my problem is. That's what I said. I'm bending the rules a bit because some people think
Right,
they're
so you
shit,
just
but
ignored
they're
the
not
rules.
really. Yeah, basically, because I just wanted to talk about a Skoda Yeti, and I found this one and went, "This is just the coolest car
No,
ever."
that is, I like those.
Yetis are
Right.
cool. Yeah.
It's a
I saw a YouTube
utilitarian.
video
This
once
is-
where this
it-
guy had a remote control helicopter or something. with
Yeah,
a
that was
Yeti.
me.
Really?
I landed it on the roof and it was wicked.
He was
and
just
everything.
copying another YouTube
So this
channel.
is the
That was
this
the
is
intro, 7 minutes
It was
long.
it was the same car Top Gear landed a helicopter on. Actually.
yes.
So this one, it's a 1.8 TSI
Okay.
4-wheel drive, which is the one to go for apparently,
All right.
according to James Dimmock. 50,000 miles on the clock, and it's 14 grand.
God,
And it's a
they're
Laurent.
14 grand.
It's
a
a
lot of
Laurent
money.
Clement one.
Yeah.
It's a really, really nice
But they're
one.
very collectible. Not
Really?
collectible, but they're sought after cars.
Yeah, I
Because
think
they're
they
like
hold their
really
money.
good space-wise and stuff. They're very clever,
Yeah,
aren't they?
yeah.
They're brilliant.
I mean, yeah.
But what I'd really love to do with one of them is to get one and then just to really do it up. So put it on coilovers,
Yeah.
put some nice wheels on it.
Do you want to ruin it?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Or put rally spec with some mud flaps on it and stuff, and some spot lamps, and ruin it.
Yeah.
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 Okay,
So I
yeah.
don't know. I mean, it's not. I know I'll never buy one because
Yeah.
deep down
Oh, it's
they
not part of
are
the crayon
They
crew.
are a bit
Oh,
crap. You can't
yes.
get them in crayon, sadly. But there is just something about. As soon as you said crap car challenge, I went
Yeah.
Yeti.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, fair.
I'd say, well, I feel less guilty about my Vantage now because there are many things that are crap about that Vantage. Whereas
there's nothing crap
There's
about
nothing
Yeti,
crap about
really.
that. But it's Ped. We've got to let him off
Yeah,
one
gotta
car.
let
He's
him
got
off.
two of them.
My first two were
First
quite
two are
good.
amazing.
Yeah, no, first two were really good, yeah.
Right.
Right, go on, Jay.
So my third and final one.
Oh, what kind of BMW have you chosen, Joe?
I've seen it, so you can't...
This is also going to be on a similar...
Yeah.
So, no, I didn't. I mean, I'm not going to choose a BMW in a crap car challenge.
No?
Ped.
Yeah, 2 Series. What's that? Touring horrible.
I couldn't possibly say BMWs are bad. Remember, they pay me a fortune.
That was the comment I got on my channel.
Did you? What about me or about you?
About you.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Right, go on. then,
People
what is it?
ignore the negative stuff I say about BMWs. Anyway, it's just disappeared. Oh no! Oops, something went wrong. Well, anyway, it was the. Oh, this is really difficult. It
It's
was
all right. I can put a picture up for the audience.
It was the Megane
Oh.
Trophy.
The one with the carbon
RS.
fiber wheels.
Oh, yeah. They were like super cool.
Super cool.
Were they not good to drive?
Very good to drive.
And
A bit of a one-trick pony.
Right. So, but the challenge was cars that
I
aren't good to drive.
know.
at the right time.
Just-
didn't it get like absolute rave reviews because it was awesome on track?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was really
Yeah.
good then.
But the crap thing about it is,
How much they
I hope
cost?
James isn't listening. It's a Renault.
I've owned a Renault Clio. They're great.
Are they really? No. Listen, I've owned Renaults. I owned a Renault Megane many years ago. I wish I never bought it. Ended up in flames
And a Renault
and died.
Renault 19 1.4 Energy once.
Ooh, my parents, when I was growing up, had not a 21. Yeah, but anyway, no, 16. They had a Renault 16. Look that one up. That's an old car. That's when I was very young. But I mean, it was just typical Renault. It had so many electrical problems. It was an absolute.
Yeah, but hang on. You're getting away from the fact that you've just picked a car here that's had rave reviews, but you're
It's
saying
had
it's
rave
bad
reviews.
because it's a Renault.
I'm sure that it's not very reliable
Why?
because
Because it's a Renault. That's his only. He doesn't have any like real world testing on this. Hang on, Joe.
I'm trying to find an
hang on.
excuse to have that as my crap car.
I'm about to reveal something here. You were looking at buying one of those at one point.
I was not that one,
Not
because
that specific
That
car.
was, but the normal, like 300 RS,
Yeah.
whatever it was. There's so many different. There's a 280, 290, 300, but this is the RS 300 Trophy R without the carbon wheels. This particular one is 38 grand at the moment. They are declining.
That's too
price-wise.
much money.
But they were 50, I think, new, and 70 with carbon wheels or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's ceramic brakes and stuff as well.
I'm sure it is unbelievably good value if you're looking at a track car or something that you can use on the road and on the track. But there's just something crap about it. It comes as red wheels. It has. I mean, Ped would love the red stripes.
I can't really work
Can
out.
you show me a picture?
Ped would love the red stripes on the side of it and
no, that's
stuff.
what I thought. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
the stripes are too much and the wheels are too much.
Yeah. So there's that element of
But
crapness.
qualifying that just because it's a Renault makes it crap
I
is,
know.
I think, a bit
Let's
unfair.
just okay. Your one next. Let's move. Let's
a bit
gloss
snobby
over that.
from-
My ones
yeah.
maybe aren't that. Yeah. Me and
right.
Ped have fallen
He's
away
just,
a bit. At the
he's just
end.
trying to find a way to grow our.
It was when I
French
said we needed 3 each
listenership.
and you'd only pick one each that you started to panic. So this car really objectively shouldn't exist. And it was only made for CO2 emission reasons.
Oh,
And to
Aston
help-
Martin
Aston
Signet.
Martin
And to help put wood on the fire to keep that company alive, which ironically all
Martin
this time
Signet.
later hasn't worked. Yeah, the Aston Martin Signet.
Oh, mate,
I love
they're
how we,
cool.
I love how we got 2 Aston Martins in this and 2 Alphas.
Yeah, but the
Is
problem
it the
with it,
V8 one?
no, of course not, because that everybody said that one was amazing. No, this is the Toyota IQ with a new bumper
They were
and
like
a
50
new
grand
interior.
when they came out or something.
They were
ridiculous.
£30,000 more. £30,000. I think. No, they were £30,000. Full stop. And they were like £15,000 or £20,000 more than a Toyota IQ.
I know,
equivalent
but
time.
they what? How much is that one you found? Because I thought they.
No, I haven't found one. I'm just looking at how much. I'm looking
I
at
think
a review
I
from when
think
they came
you'll find
out.
They're still.
They're still
really
like
sought
40
after,
grand.
and
They're
they've-
still like 40 grand.
Yeah.
But
So at the time they were panned, but actually now it's like super uber cool to have one.
Is that
yeah,
funny?
that's my point. It's a
Isn't that
terrible
funny?
car because
That's-
if you try to buy a Toyota IQ, they're like 1,500 quid. Like you couldn't give them away because they're just small, crappy.
'Cause they're crap.
What year is that?
Not,
What
not
are they, like 2011?
11 or something, I think.
Isn't it funny? So that's probably worth
Yeah,
more.
2010.
Let me have a look quickly.
It's
So
worth
the
more than the
Aston
Vantage.
Vantage.
It's
It
gonna-
is.
well, it's
No, it
definitely
is,
worth-
yeah.
But let's look at a 2011 Vantage. Oh yes, from 2011.
And a 1.33 litre VVT engine, and there's no 1 litre option. It gave us 97
say,
brake
though-
horsepower and 92 foot-pound of torque.
You-
A 6-speed manual gearbox.
You can get, well, tens of, in fact, hundreds of 2011 V8 Vantages, which are the 4.7 V8S,
Yeah.
for under 40 grand.
You can buy a real Aston rather than a rebadged
You're better
Toyota.
off. So that's because these were what, 70, 80 grand new, 90.
I wonder how many signets they made though.
It wouldn't have been many
There
because
wasn't many.
they were boxed. They were like an option on a DB9 or a
You could
DBS at
configure
the
it,
time.
yeah.
You could configure to
How
have that as
funny
your city
that
car.
has retained its value
Yeah,
100% better than.
but only because they didn't make any.
No, I know.
Yeah, but it is a cool thing. But like, if you wanted, if you said to me like, I'm thinking of buying an Aston Martin Signal, I think they could be great. I'd be like, go buy a Toyota IQ, like a good one for $3,000.
Bling it up.
Just drive it for a year.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, then decide if you want to buy one, because you then realize that actually the experience you're buying into is not anything to do with the vehicle at all.
But I bet that there's a lot of those were bought by people who wanted it, like they've got a super yacht and they wanted it.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Or they live in a Mews in London and that lives in the Mews and the car lives in Oxfordshire.
And
or
then they've
something,
actually
for
got
sure.
a V12 Vantage.
Yeah, of
in it.
course.
Yeah.
They are.
But no, it was
cool.
panned because it was like, well, this is
I
Toyota
saw
IQ, but
one
for way more
on the
money.
Cap d'Antibes once, and that's like perfect hunting ground for a
Yeah.
a Signet.
Yeah, couldn't. I mean, ironically, we didn't talk about the price of the 4Cs, but like they've also not really dropped.
No.
Like they're still 40 grand for like a one you'd want to buy without moon miles on it. They're
Be
35
interesting.
with loads of miles on them.
It'd be interesting to see what they do, because the 1M, the BMW 1M,
Yeah.
it was 40 new, it was 40 for forever,
Yeah.
and just in the last year and a half, 2 years, they've started going up. So maybe
Yeah.
the same will happen with those.
But it's the same thing of like Panda at the times, and nobody bought them. I think they were
Yeah.
selling like a few hundred 4Cs a year. That was it.
Yeah.
And so now there's not many of them. They were a bit special in the way they looked and the way they were built. They probably lost Alfa Romeo huge amounts of money.
Yeah.
Like, nobody benefits out of these.
No.
Apart from Gary, who bought one and has kept it for the last 10 years, and now it's worth only 5 or 10 grand less than
it was.
new, basically.
Yeah.
So.
We need to
Gents,
finish.
we are going to wrap this up. That's pretty much an hour.
Wow.
Look at that.
We've got a very special guest.
Oh, I'm coming on again.
You're actually getting off for the next one.
Yeah.
I mean,
off you go.
You could have told me that off the podcast. It's a
Oh,
bit
sorry.
embarrassing now.
Oh, no. Yeah, awkward. I
I
hope
only here, Pat, because we couldn't find anyone else.
Well, yeah, that's because the guest was late, so you just
at least you
threw
got
me
your
on.
challenge.
it was convenient. He warmed up his seat. Thanks a lot for watching, guys and girls. I hope you've really enjoyed this. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and following us on Spotify and all the other podcast platforms. Also leaving us any reviews. I know the Spotify reviews, we're over 150 reviews at the moment. I think 4.8, 4.9 out of 5.
Yeah, whatever platform you listen to the podcast on or watch
Yeah.
it, just leave a review, leave a comment, whatever you can. Always helps us.
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely. And we'll see you at the next one coming in 2 weeks.
Should we book this again in 2 weeks' time?
Yeah, let's
this
book
is
this
quite
again.
nice.
Should
Yeah,
we come
yeah.
back? We'll come back again in 2
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
perfect. Yeah.
I'm going to just change my top so that people don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to cut that bit out, but it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll stop it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See
Easy
ya.
now.
Easy now.